So once you have done that with part one, which is really to establish an understanding of what is a retailer doing in terms of marketing communications and sales promotions, but also what is based on those information, and particularly based on what you'll be able to extract from the marketing communication example. What do we think is a target market? What do we think is a value proposition? What do we think is the positioning of Diet Pepsi on one hand and the retailer on the other end, right? And then looking at the sales promotion activities that they had, Diet Pepsi and then the retailer Target on its own, overall, and then for Diet Pepsi particularly, you will end up with a set of, as I mentioned, opportunities and ideas on how to go about building a sales promotion campaign. That will be part one. Part two is to take those informations and those ideas and build upon those key conclusions to develop three fully described, what are called sales promotion concept statements that you will propose for the campaign, right? So part one, gathering information, coming down to some key conclusions about some ideas on what you think would be the good foundations to build the campaign upon. And part two is to take those conclusions and actually flesh out from them, flesh out three fully described sales promotion concept statements. So, to help you do that, your teacher, your humble servant, and Tracy Locke will be providing you with a set of resources for your success, right? So, let me go through those resources. First, as I mentioned, aside the assignment description document that I have put together for part one and part two, you will have also, as I mentioned as well, a formal creative briefing document on Diet Pepsi by Tracy Locke. And this document has been uploaded on Angel. It's available to you, right? Where you have a description of the challenge, the marketing objective, the communication priorities, the brand values, the target audience, and so forth, so on. This is a real thing, right? It's really what a business, in fact, is giving to an agency. That's what they use to brief an agency, a creative brief. And then from there, the agency is kind of turning that around to then go to their creative people and say, please, creative people, try to come back to us with some great ideas for sales promotion shopper marketing campaign based on this creative brief. So this is a real thing, right? This is a real thing. You also have examples of sales promotion concept statements. So you know by what I just mentioned to you that part two of the term project that you have to work on during module 7 is to come up with three concept statements for sales promotion. You have uploaded onto Angel three examples of concept statements through a PowerPoint presentation that has been communicated to us by Tracy Locke. And in module 7, a video I have put together a video that will be further explaining concept statements. And this video will actually be built upon the presentation document that Tracy Locke communicated to us for explaining sales promotion concept statements, right? You will have also information or initial information on the retailer, in that particular instance, Target. Now it's only a starting point. It's a lot of good information, but it is only a starting point. You have to gather information on your own based on what you will see in the description document. You have quite a few things to gather information on. So this retailer information sheet provided by Tracy Locke is a starting point. It's a good starting point, but it isn't the only thing. Nevertheless, it is communicated to you and uploaded on Angel. You also have a great presentation example. Now, you want to be careful when you look at it. you want to look at it for inspiration. You don't want to look at it as a final say. Because to really fully appreciate the value and the performance in a presentation, you have to see and hear and see the presentation and watch the presentation. I mean, here you have only the PowerPoint document that they use, right? So this is not the full scope of what you have to build the presentation. It's just one element, but you might still want to look at it to understand maybe how they started and the structure, right? And this presentation is really for part 2, not part 1, right? This A-grade presentation. Tracy Lock, we also have account manager team available to you to answer any question that you have on the product, the target, the competitors, the retailer, all what is a content linked to the business challenge, or what is linked to the business challenge itself. You will have 2 people from Tracy Lock will be ready to answer your questions, and they will do so through the specific discussion forum that you have and you will see in your module 3. For TERM Project Part 1, and in your Module 7, once we reach this one, for TERM Project Part 2, you will have a specific discussion forum dedicated to you being able to ask questions to those Tracy Lock individuals who kindly agreed to be instant messaged by you through that discussion forum if you have questions. Once again, those questions have to be related to the business challenge, the product, and the business, and that's where they will be able to. That's where Tracy Lock managers will be able to answer your questions the most effectively. All the questions related more to understanding the assignment and the deliverables per se, the clarity on the requirements of the assignment, then it is something that you have to ask me as your teacher through the ask your teacher or talk with your teacher discussion forum in each module, right? The 2 people are Ben Lard. Ben Lard is the manager strategic planning at Tracy Lock, and then you have Ceci Jved, who is the director of strategic planning at Tracy Lock. And those 2 individuals very kindly, once again, agreed to be, during the period of the module, available to you through the Tracy Lock discussion forum under the module to answer any questions that you have on the business side of the project, right? So it's pretty cool. And of course, the last resource, as I mentioned to you, I'm your teacher, right? And I will be available through, as you know, course email, but for questions related to particularly the assignment, it will be through the talk with your professor discussion forum in the module. All right. So that being said, let's go through it. Let's go through part 1 in more details.